Hi everybody, so today I wanted to do a review on the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation. So this is in the shade 120 Classic Ivory, and I know a lot of people have done reviews on this in the past, in the past month because it's only been out since early January, but I wanted to get my review out and my opinion out because I love this foundation and I definitely think it's worth checking out. So I do have some notes down here which I will be going over throughout this video, so if I'm looking down, that is why. It may not be in like a certain order. It might be a little bit sporadic, but I'm gonna try to get all of my information out to you guys because I definitely think that this foundation is worth checking out, and I love that Maybelline reformulated it to be more towards like the normal to like combination oily skin types, because I always wanted to love the Maybelline Fit Me original formula, but my skin is just way too oily in my T-zone to be able to wear that. It just breaks up and it doesn't last on me, so I'm happy that they have two different formulations because now I get to try it out and it works for my skin type. So that is one plus of this foundation. So just starting off, before I get started actually, I do want to quickly mention, I did recently get my daith pierced. If you watched my tattoo and piercing video, or if you didn't, I will have it linked below. But if you watched that, you know that I actually got it probably a little under a week ago, and it's kind of sore right now, so if I seem kind of like annoyed or something in this video, it's just because my face hurts, or my ear hurts rather, so don't mind that. And if you have any tips for like daith piercings, if you've ever had it, because I heard that it actually like swells a lot and it's prone to swelling, at least that's what my piercer told me, just leave a comment below and let me know anything that I can do for that. I've taken like Tylenol a lot and it's still not going down in swelling, so I'm cleaning it just the same way I do everything else, but I'm having an issue with that. So if you have any tips, just let me know, but I'm not going to ramble on too much about that, and we're going to get started into the review. So first off, I do have this in the shade 120 Classic Ivory, which I believe this may be the fourth shade in from the lightest. And as far as shades go, there are a multitude of shades, don't get me wrong. There's shades from like light skin tones all the way to dark skin tones, but I don't think that they have like really pale, like they don't cater towards like the really pale skin tones in my opinion, just because what I notice and what I've heard other people say is that this foundation actually starts kind of dark in range. So if you're very pale, you may not be able to find one of the colors that matches you, or you may not find an undertone that matches you, because I believe when I was looking at it that the lighter shades were actually very pink. Like I didn't really see a lot of yellow undertones in the lighter shades, so you may have some trouble with that, but definitely go to your local drugstore to check out the shade range and see what may match you. But not really great in the lighter skin tone aspect. For me, I found that I like Maybelline foundations because I have very yellow undertones, and Maybelline is one of the closest to me that gives me that like jaundice yellow. Like if you see, some of their colors are actually really good for the yellow undertone people who find that some foundations, especially drugstore foundations, I notice cater more towards people with like pink or neutral undertones, and they don't really have ones that have like strong yellow undertones. So I like Maybelline for that, and I think Maybelline is actually really good about giving you a very strong yellow undertone in some of their foundations. So I was able to find a match for me that's like a perfect match. So definitely, if you have yellow undertones, check out the Maybelline Fit Me. As far as coverage goes, this is a medium coverage on my skin. If you have very severe acne or rosacea or just a lot of like skin issues that you want to conceal, this is not going to be a medium coverage on you. It's going to be a sheer coverage on you. If you have flawless skin to the point where you really only have like very minor imperfections, you're going to find that this is a full coverage. So on my skin, it's a medium coverage, and I have just the general, I have slight discoloration and redness, and then I have the occasional like breakout. I don't have anything like really heavy that I need to cover other than the redness. The redness is the hardest thing that I find that I have to cover, since redness is not so easily concealed by most foundations. I find that this conceals it to the point where it looks natural on my skin, But if I was to have like a major bad breakout, this is not going to conceal it fully. You can build it up in certain areas to give you a more opaque coverage, but I don't feel that this is going to cover every skin issue that you're ever going to find. So just be aware of that if you wanted to try this out and you have a lot of skin issues, because you may find that the coverage is just not there for you. For me, it works out perfect. I love the coverage of this. It's a medium opaque coverage, so it works on me, but some people may find that's a little bit more sheer. Again, it is also like a thin consistency. The price is great. It ranges around, I've seen it from like $6.99 to like $8.99, so it's really, really inexpensive, even for drugstore, because drugstores can get upwards of like $15, $16, depending on where you go and what brand you're getting it from. I know like Revlon foundations, Physicians Formula, they tend to be more expensive, so this is actually a really, really good price for even drugstore makeup, so definitely love that. It's a demi matte finish. It's not a full matte, so you're not going to get that like cement look on your face. It's going to look very, very natural. Now, I don't have it on today. I actually have my MAC Studio Fix fluid, so I can't really show you how it would come out, but it is a demi matte finish, so it's going to look like skin. If you look at your skin, like you can see like light reflects off your skin. It's not a flat matte. It's not something that's going to be like dead looking and just like a wall and paint. So it's going to give you that kind of like semi sheen to where your skin looks natural. It's going to look normal, but it's not going to be dewy or anything like really shiny, but it's going to give you that like skin effect. It's not going to look like makeup as much. So I love the demi matte finish, and I love that they put that in this formulation. I get around a 6 to 8 hour wear where I don't feel, oh, I just said wear twice. I get a 6 to 8 hour wear in the sense that I don't need to touch up, or I don't feel like my makeup sliding off. After that, I may want to touch up in my T-zone, but it definitely doesn't break up. I noticed that this is one of the only foundations that does not crease around my nose and my mouth area, like around the laugh lines and stuff. So that definitely, if you have an issue with that, check this foundation out, because I loved it for that, because I have a problem where every foundation I use without fault, and I can probably, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it right now because I've only had my makeup on for like 2 hours, but I, without a doubt, within an hour of wearing any type of foundation, I will get breakup and like foundation creasing, no matter if it's a matte finish, a dewy finish, if I powder or I don't powder. So no matter what I do, I always get creasing, but I did not get it with this foundation, which is phenomenal. I love it. That in itself makes me love this foundation. So definitely check this out if you have any issues with like foundations sinking into your lines. And I think it has to do with the fact that this is a very thin consistency foundation. It's not going to be like that thick and heavy feeling foundation. It's going to feel very light on your skin. It's going to blend really easy. So I recommend using actually a brush with this. I didn't find that I liked it with a sponge just because it is so thin. So I think that the brush kind of buffs it in a little bit better, and I feel like the sponge soaks up too much of the product. But I definitely think if you want that natural looking finish as well as a very lightweight feel, you're going to like the formulation of this. I also feel that there's no harsh fragrance in this. There is a slight, there is a slight, foundation smell to it, but it's not crazy to the point, like, certain foundations, there are some that I just can't stand, like the Rimmel foundations. I cannot stand the smell of Rimmel foundations. I don't like the way they smell. I hate it because I can still smell it when it's on my face. This one doesn't bother me too much, but there is like a slight fragrance there. It's nothing crazy in my opinion, but it's not like off-putting. So definitely be aware of that. If you like no smell in your makeup, you may not like this, but if you can handle just a slight fragrance, it's not that bad. One thing though is if you like a pump applicator, this is not a pump applicator. This is that pore style bottle that like everybody complains about. I don't care, honestly, that it's a pore style bottle because it is so cheap and it is such a good formula, but definitely if you can find a pump that works for this, that may be able to help. I know some people like actually have like blogs and like different things where you can find out what pumps from like other bottles will fit on this, but I'm not going to try that. I think it works out fine for what it is. It is a thinner consistency, so just beware of that when you're kind of pouring it out on the back of your hand because it may just kind of like all come out at once. so just be careful. Since there is no pump, it may come out like really quick. So I know that's a deal breaker for some people. In my opinion, I don't care. I just kind of like tilt it over onto my finger and just dot it on my face, but that may be an issue since it is a thinner consistency. It will come out really quickly. Other than that, I really don't have anything else to say. I do recommend it for normal to oily skin types because it did last so long and it's a demi matte finish. It would be recommended for people who want a natural finish. If you want like that flat matte, like no shine on your face at all, you may not like this one. So I do recommend it for people who want that natural, just like skin-like effect. If you want an inexpensive foundation, this is also going to be the foundation for you because it is only around $6 to $8. So it's nothing crazy, and I actually do really love it, and I think it would be worth twice that much. So I love it. I definitely recommend you guys go check it out. It's a really good foundation, and I think it would work honestly even if you had like slightly drier skin. Maybe not to the point where you have like very flaky dry skin, but if you had like just a slight bit of dryness or dehydration, you're gonna find that this can still work for you since it's not that flat matte and it does have more of a demi matte natural finish. It may still work on your skin type. I would still check it out because I do still love it, and I would recommend it to anybody who is in the market for any of the things that I've mentioned in this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope I didn't ramble on too much, and I hope I wasn't kind of like being a little crazy and going different places. I just wanted to get all the information out to you guys because I love it. I rate it 5 out of 5 stars, and I hope you guys go check it out. So that is it for this review on the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. If you have any other questions or comments, you can leave them in the comment section below, or you can email me. My email is linked off in the bottom bar, so you can send me inspirational pictures, comments, questions, anything like that. I will also have all of my social networks linked off in the bottom bar, so go follow me on all of those. I love talking to you guys on all of my social networks, so definitely follow me. Also, don't forget to thumbs up this video and subscribe. It really means a lot, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye, everybody.